It was a cool Saturday morning when Daniel and Mia Carter decided to run a few errands around town. They had recently moved into a small apartment in a quiet neighborhood, and like many young families trying to manage their expenses, they wanted to start shopping in bulk to save money. Their destination that day was a large warehouse store called Value Hub, a place famous for its oversized shopping carts, giant shelves of snacks, and long lines at the membership desk. But Daniel and Mia weren't going alone. They were bringing someone very special with them. Their 8-month-old daughter, Lily. Lily had just reached that adorable stage where everything fascinated her. Lights, sounds, strangers' faces. Everything made her curious. She had big, round eyes and a tiny laugh that seemed to melt anyone's heart. Daniel often joked that Lily could probably convince anyone to give her free groceries if she just smiled at them long enough. That morning, Mia carefully buckled Lily into her stroller while Daniel grabbed the diaper bag. "Ready for your first membership adventure?" Daniel joked, leaning down toward Lily. The baby responded with a happy squeal and kicked her little feet. Mia laughed. "I think that means yes." The drive to Value Hub only took about 15 minutes. But when they arrived, the parking lot was already crowded. Cars filled almost every space, and people pushed massive carts toward the entrance. Daniel looked at Mia and raised an eyebrow. "Looks like everyone had the same idea today." Mia shrugged. "Well, we already came this far." Inside the store, the air smelled faintly of fresh bread and roasted chicken from the food court. Bright white lights reflected off towering shelves stacked with everything from cereal boxes to televisions. Lily stared around in amazement. Her eyes moved in every direction, trying to absorb all the colors and movement. "Wow," Mia whispered. "She's never seen anything like this." The membership desk was near the entrance, and a short line had already formed. Daniel pushed the stroller while Mia held Lily in her arms. Several people in line noticed the baby immediately. An older woman smiled warmly. "Oh my goodness, she's adorable." Mia thanked her politely while Lily waved her tiny hands as if greeting everyone. Within seconds, the whole mood around the line seemed lighter. People smiled more. A few even stepped aside so the family could move forward more comfortably. When it was finally their turn, a friendly employee stood behind the counter. Her name tag read Sarah. She looked to be in her late 20s, with a cheerful smile and a calm voice. "Good morning," Sarah said. "Welcome to Value Hub. Are you signing up for a new membership today?" Daniel nodded. "Yep, first time." Sarah typed something into her computer and began explaining the membership options. While she talked, Lily leaned forward in Mia's arms, staring curiously at the keyboard. Sarah noticed. "Well, hello there," she said softly, wiggling her fingers toward the baby. Lily responded with a tiny giggle. The people waiting behind the family smiled as they watched the interaction. After a few minutes, the paperwork was finished. "All right," Sarah said. "Now we just need to take your membership photo." Daniel stepped aside so Mia could take the picture first. But there was one small problem. Mia was still holding Lily. She hesitated for a second. "Oh, sorry," Mia said, turning toward Daniel. "Can you hold her while I take the photo?" Daniel reached out and lifted Lily into his arms. But just before Mia stepped toward the camera, Sarah paused. Then she asked a question that caught everyone off guard. "Would you like your baby in the picture with you?" Mia blinked in surprise. "Wait, that's allowed?" Sarah laughed softly. "Of course, lots of parents like to do that. It makes the card more fun." For a moment, Mia looked at Daniel. Daniel shrugged with a grin. "I think that's a yes." Mia's face lit up instantly. "Yes, I'd love that." Daniel gently handed Lily back to her. But suddenly a new challenge appeared. Lily had decided this was the perfect moment to become extremely interested in everything except the camera. She twisted around, looking at the lights on the ceiling, then the people behind them, then the shiny counter. Sarah chuckled. Babies and cameras never cooperate on the first try. Then something unexpected happened. One of the customers waiting in line leaned forward and made a silly face. Another started softly saying, "Peekaboo." Someone else waved their hands. Within seconds, The entire group near the counter was working together to get Lily's attention. "Over here," someone whispered. "Lily, look this way." "Smile." Mia couldn't stop laughing. Daniel shook his head in disbelief. "I can't believe this is happening." Finally, Lily turned her head toward the camera. Her big eyes widened. And right at that exact moment, she gave the cutest little smile. Click! The camera flashed. The people behind them actually clapped. Sarah looked at the screen and grinned. "That might be the best membership photo I've taken all week." Mia leaned forward to look. The photo showed her holding Lily close, both of them smiling in the bright store lighting. It wasn't perfect, but somehow, it felt perfect. "Okay," Sarah said. "Now it's Dad's turn." Daniel stepped forward confidently, but Lily had other plans. As soon as Daniel held her, she grabbed his shirt collar and tried to chew on it. The people around them burst into laughter. "Parenthood in one picture," someone joked. Once again, the crowd helped. Waving hands, funny sounds, silly faces. And finally, click. Another photo. This time, Daniel was laughing while Lily looked straight into the camera with wide, curious eyes. Sarah printed the cards and handed them over. "Here you go." Mia held the small plastic card and stared at the picture. It was just a store membership. But suddenly, it felt like something much more meaningful. A tiny memory frozen in time. Daniel leaned over her shoulder. "You know," he said, "we might keep these forever." Mia nodded. "I hope we do." But the story didn't end there. Not even close. Because later that evening, something unexpected would happen. Something neither of them saw coming. Something that would turn their sweet little moment at Value Hub into a story millions of people would soon hear about. After dinner that night, Mia sat on the couch scrolling through her phone while Lily played with a soft stuffed toy on the carpet. Daniel was in the kitchen making tea. Mia suddenly had an idea. She grabbed the two membership cards and placed them side by side on the table. Then she took a photo. The tiny pictures of their family on the cards looked adorable together. Daniel walked back into the living room just as Mia posted the picture online. "What are you doing?" he asked. "Just sharing something funny," she said casually. Neither of them expected what would happen next. But within hours, their simple little photo would begin spreading across the internet faster than they ever imagined. But before we find out how their story suddenly exploded online, take a quick second to tap the like button if you're enjoying this story so far. And if you love heartwarming real-life moments like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next story. Trust me, the next part of this story gets even more surprising. Because by the next morning, Daniel and Mia would wake up to thousands of notifications, and what started as a simple membership photo would soon become something far bigger than they ever imagined. The next morning started like any other for Daniel and Mia Carter, or at least, that's what they thought. Soft sunlight slipped through the living room curtains. The apartment was quiet except for the gentle humming of the refrigerator and the occasional squeak of Lily's favorite toy as she rolled it across the floor. Daniel stretched as he walked into the kitchen, still half asleep. "Coffee first, then the world," he mumbled. Mia was still sitting on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, scrolling through her phone. But something about her expression looked different. Her eyes were wide, confused, almost shocked. Daniel noticed immediately. "What's wrong?" he asked. Mia slowly looked up from her phone. "I think something weird is happening." Daniel poured coffee into a mug. "Weird how?" She turned the phone toward him. "You remember the photo I posted last night?" Daniel nodded. "The membership cards? Yeah." "Well," Mia said slowly, "a lot of people saw it." Daniel leaned closer to the screen. Then he blinked. Then blinked again. "Wait, how many views is that?" Mia swallowed. "Last time I refreshed it, It was over 2 million. Daniel nearly dropped his mug. 2 million? But the number didn't stop there. Every few seconds, the notifications kept increasing. Likes, comments, shares, messages. It was moving so fast, Mia could barely keep up. "Look at this," she said, scrolling through the comments. Many people were laughing at the adorable pictures. Others were sharing their own membership photos. One person posted a photo taken 10 years earlier with their toddler sitting on their lap. Another shared a picture with their dog in the frame. Someone even posted a photo of themselves holding a giant pizza slice in their membership card picture. Daniel burst out laughing. "Okay, that one's legendary." But among the funny comments were also emotional ones. Parents wrote about how their children had grown up. Some said their membership cards still had photos of their kids from years ago. One comment read, "Keep that card forever. One day your daughter will love seeing it." Mia felt a sudden warmth in her chest reading that. She looked at Lily playing on the floor. "So tiny," Mia whispered. The views kept climbing. 3 million, 5 million, 7 million. Daniel shook his head in disbelief. All because of a membership card. Then something even more unexpected happened. Mia received a message request. At first, she thought it was just another follower. But when she opened it, her eyes widened. "Daniel, I think this is from the store." He leaned closer. Sure enough, the message came from the official account of Value Hub. The message read, "Hi Mia, we saw your post and absolutely loved the photos. Our team member Sarah told us about the moment with your daughter Lily. Thank you for sharing such a heartwarming experience." Mia smiled. "That's really nice of them." But then she kept reading, and suddenly she gasped. Daniel looked concerned. "What?" She handed him the phone. "Read the rest." The message continued. "As a thank you for spreading such positivity, we'd love to invite your family back to our store this weekend. We have a small surprise waiting for Lily." Daniel raised his eyebrows. A surprise? Neither of them knew what that meant. Maybe a gift basket, maybe a small toy. But whatever it was, they were curious. So Mia replied, "We'd love to visit." "Thank you." Over the next 2 days, the story kept spreading. News pages shared the photo. Parents reposted it. People tagged friends saying things like, "This is the cutest membership card ever." By the end of the week, the original post had passed 11 million views. Daniel still couldn't believe it. "You know what's funny?" he said one evening. "What?" "We didn't even go there to buy anything." Mia laughed. "We just wanted a membership." Saturday arrived quickly. The Carter family packed up the diaper bag again and headed back to Value Hub. But this time, something felt different. When they walked toward the entrance, a few employees seemed to recognize them. One waved, another smiled. "Hey, it's the famous baby." Mia laughed awkwardly. "I didn't think anyone would actually know us." Inside the store, Sarah was already waiting near the membership desk. As soon as she saw Lily, her face lit up. "There she is!" Lily stared at her for a moment, then gave a small giggle. Sarah clapped her hands softly. "I knew she'd remember me." After a quick greeting, Sarah guided them toward a small display table near the counter. Several employees stood nearby. Daniel leaned toward Mia. "This is starting to feel like a ceremony." On the table sat a small wrapped box, bright red ribbon, neatly folded card. Sarah picked it up and handed it to Mia. "This is for Lily," she said. Mia carefully opened the card first. Inside was a handwritten message from the store team. It thanked them for sharing such a joyful moment and bringing smiles to so many people online. Mia felt her eyes get slightly watery. "That's so sweet," she said. Then she opened the box. Inside was a tiny baby-sized hoodie. On the front was the Value Hub logo. Under it were the words, "Future Shopper." Daniel laughed immediately. "Oh, that's perfect." But that wasn't all. Under the hoodie was another envelope. Inside it was something even more surprising. A 1-year premium membership, completely free. Daniel looked stunned. "Are you serious?" Sarah nodded. "Our managers insisted." The employees nearby clapped softly. Lily, confused by the attention, clapped too. Everyone burst out laughing. Mia picked Lily up and hugged her. "Well," she whispered, "your first membership trip turned out pretty amazing." But the story didn't end there, because something funny started happening in the weeks that followed. Whenever Daniel used his membership card at the checkout, cashiers would notice the picture. They'd look at the tiny baby in the photo, then back at Daniel. Then they'd smile. One cashier said, "Is that the internet baby?" Daniel laughed. "Apparently." Another time, a worker in the electronics section looked at the card and said, "Best membership photo I've seen." Even when Daniel used the store credit card at other shops, people noticed. One grocery store cashier squinted at the card, then smiled. "That baby looks like she runs the whole household." Daniel grinned. "She absolutely does." At home, Mia saved screenshots of the viral post, the comments, the messages, the photos. She placed everything into a digital folder labeled Lily's First Membership. One evening, Daniel asked her something while they watched Lily crawl across the living room. "Do you think she'll care about this story when she grows up?" Mia smiled softly. "Oh, definitely." She imagined a future moment, years from now. Lily may be 10 or 12 years old, sitting at the table while Mia pulled out the old membership card. "See this?" she'd say. "This was your first viral moment." Lily might laugh, maybe roll her eyes, maybe say, "You posted me online when I was a baby?" But Mia hoped that one day Lily would understand something deeper, that sometimes the smallest moments become the biggest memories. A simple errand, a friendly employee, a smiling baby, and suddenly, millions of people are sharing a moment of happiness together. Because in a world full of serious news and stressful days, sometimes a tiny baby smiling in a membership photo is exactly the kind of story people need. And that's the beautiful lesson Daniel and Mia carried from this unexpected experience. You never know when an ordinary day will turn into a story worth remembering. So appreciate the little moments, smile at strangers, and don't underestimate the magic of a simple memory. Because one day, that small moment might become the story you tell for the rest of your life. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.